Word from our sponsor. Nobody. This absolute chaos is proudly sponsored by Nobody. That's right, Nobody brings you this content because, frankly, nobody cares about your entertainment. With Nobody in your corner, you're guaranteed a front row seat to, well, whatever this is. Nobody offers zero support, zero quality, and absolutely nobody to answer your complaints. Why settle for something when you can have nothing with Nobody? So grab a drink, mute your expectations, and enjoy the show, because nobody is watching, and nobody cares about your content enjoyment. Thanks to Nobody, we're live, unfiltered, and probably unhinged. Let's get this train wreck rolling.
Another star on my display, calling out from far away, calling out from far away. No one's been here before me now. I'll find a way, don't matter how. Through the dark and endless night, past the points of fading light. Every world that catches my eye makes me want to touch the sky. And I know that I was made for this. Every system holds another gift. Every horizon calls my name. Nothing left to hold me back again. Out here where the stars are bright and new, there's always one more frontier to break through. Break through. Shots are blank and sensors clear. All these wonders drawing me. Let them say it can't be done, while I'm chasing distant suns. In my ship I feel alive, as these cosmic waves I ride. Every scan reveals the way to places where I'll make my way. We are all explorers at heart, born to push the boundaries of art.
Alright, let's get started. Hope everyone's having a great Saturday, 26th. Normally I do other things, but I've been doing some engineering and I need to do some more engineering, so I need yet more materials to give to the engineer. So my plan is to stock up on some. The way I'm going to do that is I will collect 100 Imperial shields at a time, come back here, go to a material trader, trade those for some other items that I need, and repeat as many times as I can stand, which may not be too much. I don't know. I am currently here in the bubble. This system, Naga, Sargon, and Theta Andi, spawns a lot of I wouldn't say a lot, but spawns high-grade emissions. And so you jump in, scan the nav beacon to find out where they are. Find a high-grade emission, make sure that the timer on it doesn't expire before you have time to get there and collect the materials. And usually I max out in one run for one high-grade emission. And then I go back to Banda and we'll go to the station, the material trader, jump back, scan the nav beacon. That's what I'm doing. I have done a little bit of the community goal. I don't know if you're aware of the community goal. The current community goal that's going on wants you to bring steel, aluminum, titanium, and CMM composites to this place. And as a reward, you get the new Panther Clipper has 2 cargo rack slots that can hold engineered or custom cargo racks that hold about 50% more than the normal cargo rack for that class. So you can actually get your Panther Clipper from 1,238 or something tons to over 13,000. I'm currently in the top 50%, but it runs for almost 4 more weeks. So as more and more people turn stuff in, the amount I turned may get smaller percentage-wise and push me down. To get, all you have to do is turn in 1 ton. Turn in 1 ton and you will get 1 set of class 4, or a class 5 and a class 6? Or maybe a 5 and 4, I don't remember. It's different than the ones that you normally buy. At any rate, you get 1 set of the 2. If you're in the top 75% or higher, you get 2 sets of them, so that's good. And I did buy a Panther Clipper for ARX. ARX is the in-game money, which you spend real money to buy ARX, and then you can buy other things. But in this game, you can't really pay to win. Generally, you can't pay real money for good ships and stuff. But what they do is when a brand new type of ship comes out, they will offer it for a couple of months for early access if you buy it with ARX. But you don't have to. You can just simply wait a couple of months and then they'll start showing up in normal shipyards and you can buy them for in-game credits, which requires nothing but activities within the game. I typically do exobiology to raise money. A lot of money. I have billions of credits, so which isn't unusual anymore. It used to be fairly rare to get a billion credits, but now it's easy. So let's get started. I may turn my camera off. The lighting this time of day gets kind of bad and it washes out my camera. One way to compensate for that, if I can, is to turn my camera up, but then I can't see the damn screen very well, so I just normally just turn the camera off and play some music and do my thing. And that's what I'm going to do. So let's go get some materials. It's real easy. Now let me know if the music is too loud. I'm going to turn it up just a little bit. It should mute when I talk, so. I already had the course plotted to Naga, whatever it is, Nega Sargon. So let's go. It's only one jump away in this ship with the... was 2 jumps, but I took one cargo rack out and put a frameshift drive a booster on just to do it. I was about 1 light year short, so. And I only need to max out materials. When you collect them, don't take up cargo space. The only cargo I need to carry is the limpets, and I didn't buy any more there, but I should have plenty. Yeah, I've got 60 left. That should be plenty to do what I'm going to do. And after I get low, I'll just restock on them. I am in my Python, the original Python, that's a Python Mark II, which I have a couple of those, but you know, this one was set up for mining, so it already had collector limpets and things. So I'll get there, I'll go to the high grade emission thing, there'll be tons of materials, and I'll open the cargo scoop and launch some collector limpets, and they'll scurry out and grab the material until I get full, and then come back here and go to the material trader. Easy.
Amazing. That's quite something.
Had a stream on Twitch last night, YouTube today. I'll be streaming again on Twitch Monday. I'm sure the nav beacon is going to be on the far side of the star. Let me just throttle back and find the nav beacon. Yeah, it's behind the star. Go scan it. That way it'll tell me where everything in the system is, so I don't have to scan the system. I have to do this every time you come in because these high-grade emission sites are transient in nature. When I find one and lock on it, you'll see on the upper right-hand side a timer. It'll show how much time it has left before it expires, goes away. Assuming that I'll have enough time to get there. Sometimes I find one and there's like 2 minutes and I go, that's not enough time to get there and then collect things. So if I don't find any high-grade emissions, I'll jump out and jump back in. And if that doesn't work, then I'll go to the other system. Not Epsilon Indy, whatever it was. Theta Indy. Yeah. Theta Indy. Both of them drop high-grade emissions, and they both have Imperial shields, which is a grade 5 material, so you get a good rate of trade done when you're trading for other mats. You get a pretty good. Doesn't cost a whole lot, you know. You just find it. The actual beacon is that gray square there. I just highlight it and it'll scan it. Don't have to do anything except sit here until it scans complete. And it's done. Now we just go back into Super Cruise. Then we'll look at the nav panel and see what's what. Let's filter this a little bit so I don't see so much extraneous stuff. Weapons fire, degraded emissions. You'll also notice some things like have threat 5 and stuff. That pretty much means if you go there, there'll be other ships there that may attack you. I don't see any high grade. That happens sometimes. So, what I'm going to do, like I said, is simply jump out and jump back in. And then scan the beacon again. I could just wait, but Like I said, they're transient in nature. So we'll just hop back over to Banda. No, they're steady, Andy. Let's just hop over there and see. It's only one jump away, so we'll just hop over there and see. And if there's not anything there, then we'll come back here. Same process though. We'll get there and scan the nav beacon and see. This is the first time. I've been doing this several times, so this is the first time that it did not spawn any high-grade emission upon my jumping in, but I do know that it happens. So. Don't be discouraged. It'll be all right.
Jumping to next system.
Tell you, getting materials to the high-grade emission sites is much better now, and they changed something. They used to drop, for example, you might find 5, 6, maybe 12 materials that you're looking for,
Completing system.
and now there's over 100. Hey, where's the nav beacon? Of course, they're always behind this star.
Far beyond the maps,
We'll just sit here and chill to some music, right?
just a steady pulse, leading the way, breaking through the
And
dark.
coffee.
Every light we chase leaves a
And as
trace.
the sun sets where I'm at, when the light from the window will decrease, and I'll turn my camera back on.
Time through space. What we find out here, no one can.
And don't be afraid to speak up in chat. I always try to respond to chat a lot. I'm streaming. Chat's more important than playing. If you have any questions about the game, I'll be glad to try to answer them. But I found here on YouTube, typically if somebody stumbles across my stream, they already played a game, usually. Lately, I've actually had a few people come in and chat. That's good. I'm glad to see there's more interest in the game here on YouTube. Or I'm growing. I don't know which is the case, or perhaps both. I am trying to expand my streaming platforms a little bit. I mean, I mainly stream on YouTube. I mean, not YouTube, but Twitch. But I'm trying to do more on YouTube, and I might even move over to Kick also. See all kinds of emissions here also, but no, I don't see any high grade. So let me make sure I'm sure the filter is doing its things. But let me make sure I'm not missing anything. Bring my other ship over here and do some pirate hunting. No, that's not it. Okay, well, let's jump back to Nega, whatever it was, and check again there. We'll just keep jumping back and forth until we find something, right? It's disappointing though, because, like I said, this is the first time today that none has shown up. Stars in the way. A little spicy, but we'll see. A little hot, too close to the star there, but it'll be all right.
Course adjustment.
The newer ships handle heat better than the older ships. That about outfitting my Corsair. I haven't used my Corsair for anything yet. That about outfitting it.
Completing system.
Hey, there's the nav beacon. I'm not going to have to go around the star. Dog, it's a bad idea to lay down behind my chair. You're going to get ran over. Move. My dog has decided to hang out with me when I'm streaming tonight. Until she decides otherwise. Just ate, so she's ready. Well, generally after she eats, she's ready to take a nap, but she's old, like me.
I never thought I'd find purpose so far from everything I knew to say. 'Cause the voice speaks to me in frequencies unknown. Whoa. Every pulse turns sparks me gone. Shows me where to roam.
Okay, go back to Super Cruise. Oh, dog. Now she's licking herself, slurping. Go lay down, girl. Alright, let's see if there's any here this time. Oh, there's one. Alright, I knew the one would pop up. Now, how much time have we got? 38 minutes, cool. Plenty of time. And when that timer expires, just out of curiosity, is there more than one? Usually there's two. Ah, just one. Hey, one's enough. That's all we need.
They said I was mad.
Oops, there's a star in the way again.
But every new world I discover speaks in pure revelation.
Engage the Go Fast drive.
Speaks to me in frequencies unknown. Every closer and star shows me where to roam. I'm just following.
That's another fairly recent addition to the game is the Super Cruise Override. I don't know if you're familiar with race cars and things. It's kind of like having a nitrous switch. And when you're in Super Cruise, it will really go, but it eats fuel. Really handy though to for in-system travel. When I do exploration, sometimes in multi-star systems, you want to go explore or looking for a life form that's on a planet that's 100,000 light seconds or something away from you. And in normal Super Cruise, that can take a little while of time to get there. So you can use your Super Cruise Override to cut that time down significantly.
Like gravity's force across endless stars.
The older ships that are equipped like this one that's equipped with the Super Cruise Override are not very stable though. You'll notice when the Super Cruise Override's on, it wanders around, you know, doesn't keep a straight course. The newer ships are designed to use the Super Cruise Override in a far more stable, not perfect, but far more stable. Those ships being the Corsair, the Mandalay, the Cobra Mark V, the Python Mark II, and now the Panther Clipper. I did break down and buy a Panther Clipper though. I think I've already explained that, but
Spit it out.
deploy cargo scoop.
Collect everything we can. Opening hatch.
And we just launched some collector limpets and go to town. Get a little closer so the limpets don't have to travel this far.
Cutting through the endless black. Instruments humming soft and low.
You'll see them on the radar, those little white squares that are moving. It's 4 or 5 out. It won't take long to get 100.
Bacardi's on. 40 points. Paths will never see. Bacardi's on.
You can see the Imperial suddenly we're already at 24. Won't take long for it to get to 100. Because actually you get 3. For every one you retrieve or you scoop up, you get 3. So I only need to get like 33 or so. I guess maybe 34, but to max out. Kind of sad that the imperial shielding limit is 100. Like you notice that the hybrid capacitors right there and stuff are like 200. You have 250, but they limit you for some obscure reason to only getting 100 at a time of. The symbol on the right hand side says what grade they are. This is a grade 5 material. Down below you'll see improvised components of grade 5 also. And that's one of the things I will trade for. Won't be 1-to-1, even though they're both grade 5. It'd be like probably 6-to-1 or something. I mean, I give up 6 imperial shielding for 1 improvised component. Some material, it really depends on what you're trying to engineer. I mean, there are specific requirements for different engineering levels. I'm just trying to grab some of the things that I'm low in, build those levels up. Not necessarily trying to get any specific item. I'm just going to be doing this a while, and I'll just go through some of the things and try to get 50 or 60 of, you know, pretty much everything that I can. We're already maxed out. So we're done. Retract cargo scoop.
Okay.
Let's try not to run into too many items here. Hop back into super. Oh, yeah. Hop back up into super cruise. That's not necessary because I'm going to be jumping out of the system, but just to get us away from here. Okay, now let's go back to Bandy, or, you know, Banda, whatever it's called. And we can target a specific station, so it'll be pre-targeted for us when we jump in. We won't have to go looking for it. And we're ready to go. We'll do some trading now, and then we'll repeat this process again. It's not hard. I did check what the commodities they sell there at this station. They don't sell anything really good.
Leaving system.
By good, I mean for the community goal, aluminum and stuff. They don't sell any of that. Or tritium for stuff. So tritium is a fuel used in with my fleet carrier, which I have plenty of right now. I just when I decide I'm going to go back out in deep space and do another week or two of exploration, I'll top off the carrier's storage capacity with tritium, depending on where I'm going. But that's typically around 20. I usually, if I'm really going really deep, I can get almost 22,000 tons of tritium. Maybe a little more now that I can actually keep an entire load on the Panther Clipper. It'll be a long tunnel here. Hopefully the game won't crash. Okay. Sometimes
Information. Cartography updated.
Sometimes the game is good, has no flaws, and will crash. And it's not going to show up on this list until I remove the filter. Autopilot take us in. Again, I'm not really. I mean, there are certain materials that I want to be sure I have, but but my limit, what's limiting me really mostly right now is raw materials, which means I'm going to have to go shoot some brain trees or something to get some more grade 5 selenium or something, and then I can trade. We can go to another type of trader called the raw material trader and exchange that selenium or other items for more something. I won't say more desirable, but more something that is actually needed for certain engineering things. And I am starting to run a little bit low on selenium. I think I have about 30 or 40 tons, or 30 or 40 of them. Nothing more irritating to be engineering something and then find out you need like 1 or 2 more of an item. I was engineering some frag cannons, which I've been doing a lot, and I actually ran out of something. I can't remember what it was, but I had 1 of them left, and that's not enough to do anything. When you engineer something, you can engineer it to grade 1, 2, 3, or 5, depending on the engineer's ability. And of course, each increasing grade gives better performance for the item. For example, a gun, a certain type of weapon, to do more damage or faster rate of fire or something. So you want to try to get as high, grade that you can engineer. Hull reinforcements, shields, things like that. All those items can be engineered to improve the stuff. Just lining up a little bit better. I'll let the auto dock me, but
Request approved. Prep for arrival on landing pad 1-5. Automated docking approved.
a lot of my ships don't have the auto dock and stuff. It's more fun to manually land, especially for exploration. My exploration ships can't auto dock on deep space planets and stuff anyway. There's no station. You just want to land near the planets you want to scan. Sometimes it's picky about where it wants to let you land at. If there's rocks around and stuff, it won't let you land in certain spots, so sometimes you have to look around. Before I forget, I'm gonna go ahead and restock my limpets, even though I should have plenty. And you get limpets under advanced maintenance. Yeah, I didn't need hardly any. Alright, now we go to under contacts. Find this nice material trader. Notice it says he's a manufactured material trader. You can find the location of material traders using a third-party website called Inara.cz. And what I do is, first I select what I desire to own, and then it'll ask me what I want to trade for it. Let me see, I'm just trying to see what I'm really low on. I don't really use these though. Are those much? Heat vanes you do use sometimes. Proto heat radiators. Conductive polymers you do use, but I've got plenty of them for right now. It provides components I need. Let's go ahead and get some of those. I just gathered 100 Imperial shielding to use for trade. Notice I'm giving up 6 of my Imperial shieldings for 1 of these improvised components. So, I'll just go ahead and do that. And I still have 4 or 5 things left, so I'll just find something. That way I'll be completely empty. Then we'll go do it again and come back and do it again. And maybe come back and do it again. And hopefully a high-grade emission will be there. We'll see. But it's not hard. And those are grade 5 materials. Even though I can only do 100 at a time, you know, it's not the hardest grind in the game. And it's much simpler than it used to be. I mean, usually to get 100 of these things, I would, or something like this, I would have to go to 4, 5, 6 maybe high-grade emission sites or something if you're lucky. And sometimes high-grade emission sites, they have different things depending on the type of system, whether the system's at war, and the system's economy. Ah, Commander Amethyst, welcome in. How are you today? Hope you're having a good evening. Mine's not been too bad so far. Just doing some material trading. We're trying to, at least. Don't believe I've seen you in my chat before, but I don't stream that often here on YouTube yet. I'm getting better doing it more. I usually stream on Twitch.
Faster than light velocity reached.
I thought I'd throw in a YouTube one this weekend and Monday back to Twitch. Again, if anybody has any questions about the
Completing systems
game,
scan. Stand by.
I'd be glad to try to answer them. If I can't answer them, I know people who can. We'll get you straightened out. Ah, of course it's behind the star. It's always behind the star. Again, I scan the nav beacon to find the location of things. Instead, you can actually scan the system with the FSS scanner, but it takes so long. It's just much easier to go to the nav beacon. And again, when the sun gets a little lower, I'll turn my camera on. And the light from the window messes with my camera lighting, so. Maybe we'll get lucky. Mandalay. My ship is called Curious Cat. I'm all about cats, so. If you subscribe to me and look at my page here, you'll see tons of exploration videos. When the Mandalay came out, I switched to it from my Asp Explorer, and it is a really nice exploration ship. I can do a 82 light year laden jump. But I typically, I do big, I go really far deep. I just did 252,000 light years around. I did a loop around the galaxy. But more often than not, I jump my carrier out in the black and park it. And then I will work the area around the carrier extensively. So typically, you don't need a ship with huge jump range for doing stuff like that. Oh, I need to actually look at the list now. See, there's an high grade close by. Let's see how much time we have left on it though. 36 minutes? Okay, that's good. Do you do any exploration? I do a lot of exploration. I've made Elite 5 in exobiology and exploration. I haven't made Elite in combat yet. I'm getting there. I'm working on that more. I don't do a lot of combat, but I do like to kill pirates. If anybody wants to wing up and go meet up in a Hazres somewhere and kill some pirates, I'm all about that. I've been doing a lot of work on my Crate Mark II and some frag cannons, and it does really nice on pirates and their shields. I used to use my Corvette all the time for that, which does fine. You know, really compensates for my lack of skill as a pilot in combat experience. But the crate's more fun. Flying a smaller ship is a lot more fun. How did you know I do exploration? Oh,
Charts and maps spread on display.
or is that just a general question?
Every system drawing near. Still that voice is all I hear.
And have you done any of the community goal? I picked up the Panther Clipper, the cheap one, not the stellar version. And I could use a couple of more of those engineered or whatever you want to call it, you know, high capacity cargo racks. So I'm in the top 50%, which was real easy to do. I have less than 9,000 tons delivered, so. And I'll check it in a week or so and see what my position is, because it runs for over it runs for a month, so over 3 weeks still left in it. So in case I get pushed down, I just want to stay in the top 75%, so I get both 2 times. You get double the reward, so you get 4 of those cargo racks that fit in the on the Panther Clipper. So, well, I guess they might actually fit on other ships too. I don't know. Since there's only 2 special slots on the Panther Clipper, I assume, and these are different sizes than those slots. So I assume,
Commander, what are your orders?
We should collect everything we
deploy
can.
cargo scoop. Deploy cargo scoop.
Affirmative, stand by.
Can you hear the stars calling?
Get a little closer. This is cake. All I gotta do is deploy these limpets, let it scoop up 100 of these things, and then I'm out of here. I only have to get 33 of them, 34, because you get triple. You get 3 for every one you get. So. And these are all Imperial shields. And you can see they're grade 5 materials, so I can use them to trade. I haven't found anything that requires Imperial shielding for engineering yet. But I just get these because they're easy and I can trade them. Just hop over one system to the material trader, then come back here and get some more. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I need more followers. You know, I stream on Twitch all the time, and there's a difference between followers and subscribers on Twitch. On Twitch, a subscriber is somebody who pays you money, you know, so they don't see ads and stuff. Here on YouTube, a subscriber is essentially a follower on Twitch. So I find it difficult to go, I need more subscribers on YouTube, because I don't beg for subscribers on Twitch. You know, I don't do this for money. So, can you not hear the dog? Dog, go lay down. Move. But I do appreciate the follow. I need, I guess you have to have 500. I don't know if it's at 500. I don't know. I got the viewer time for all my videos and stuff and shorts, but I don't have the subscribers. So I'm getting there. It's growing slowly. I am happy to see. I streamed on YouTube a couple of years ago, and no one ever showed up in chat. And now I'm glad to see that more people are streaming Elite Dangerous on YouTube, and pretty much now every time I stream, I get somebody or 1 or 2 people or 3 people come in chat and stuff, and that's pretty rewarding. So what do you like to do in the game, Amethyst? Do you like to do exploration, or how have you found your niche? The things that you like to do? Again, my favorite thing is exploration, and followed by bounty hunting. And when I say bounty hunting, I really enjoy teaming up with somebody and doing bounty hunting. Maybe get on Discord and a little banter and just clubbing some pirates. Okay, we are full. I do have a Discord. I don't have a automated way to show the Discord link on YouTube. That's something I need to fix. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can do this. I do, however, have and this won't show up here. There we go. But what it does do when I type that there, it Twitch responded, so I can copy the link here. If anybody is interested, I have a low volume Discord that you're more than welcome to join. Primarily post exploration pictures, and once in a while I make announcements about my next pseudo expedition. Invite people to ride along on the carrier. A lot of people haven't done a lot of exploration, and it's a super easy way to make money. A lot of money. I mean, a lot of money. People who have never done exobiology before find out. They go out for 3 or 4 hours or something, and come back and turn in, and 100, 200, or more million credits. I like that. Also, on a side note, if you do the community gold, they're paying very good prices. So if you buy some steel, and everything, and sell it to the community gold, they pay, I don't know, 3-4 times or whatever the galactic average. Something. It's a really good, easy way to make some cash. Where am I going? Okay, retract cargo scoop. Retract cargo scoop.
Retracting cargo scoop.
I'm using voice attack, and it sometimes doesn't listen to me. Okay, let's go back to the material trader and band whatever it is. I see my carrier is parked there in that system.
Is this the right way?
Okay, we're good to go. Before I do that, let me get back into Super Cruise. There may be a, well, I know I'm maxed out, it doesn't matter. So there may be another high grade emissions here, but it doesn't matter. I'm maxed out on what I can carry, so it's too bad.
This mission drives me to proceed. Stars surround my solitary ship, but in each system that I scan, I find the flames that light the dark.
Jumping to next system.
Every star tells a story.
Frame shift now engaged.
Every star shows the way.
Just glancing at Discord there a moment. Again, though, I'll be going back out probably in a week or
Gathering
so
information. Cartography updated.
for exobiology stuff.
Asteroid split and
If anybody wants to ride along, they're more than welcome to. I don't know where I'm going. It really doesn't matter. I mean, unless you just want to go sightseeing. But biology is biology, pretty much anywhere you go. But with all the colonization stuff and everything, I have seen that you have to go further out now than you used to get to reliably find undiscovered stuff. Daddy Silvestro, hello, welcome in. Thanks for swinging by. How are you doing?
Every star shows the way.
I still have to get StreamerBot configured to respond to YouTube chats. I'm working on it. I know how to do it now. I just have to actually set it up. Not too difficult. I have a lot of things on Twitch set up, but I have nothing here. Even my overlay, so when I put the camera on here in a little while, my overlay is actually at the bottom. You'll see a bunch of things scrolling by, and those are all Twitch followers and stuff, not YouTube followers yet. I'm working on it though. YouTube is new to me. I mean, as a live streamer, I used YouTube for many years, but to actually stream live and try to have more than what you see here, more than just the gameplay. You know, I'm an old guy. This is the overlay I use for Twitch a lot of times, and got my camera, and you can see my lighting is really poor right now, but it's getting better. The stuff at the bottom basically has to do with Twitch, not YouTube. I'm working on it though. My current location though is shown on both screens. I'm in Banda, and I'm in open. So it's possible to run into other players when you're in open. If you're a player of Elite Dangerous, you know that there's 3 modes for playing the game. One is open play, where you can meet anybody. The other's in solo, which all you interact with are NPCs, or a private group where you can invite specific people, and you have specific people and NPCs to interact with. I typically play in open unless I'm doing something important, because there are people that will try to kill you just for the hell of it. Not a lot, it doesn't happen everywhere, but at key locations where people congregate, like at engineering places, sometimes gankers will hang out there. So I'm just telling you now, and I'm not an anti-ganker person by any means, it's part of the game. I'm just saying right now, if you play the game, and you have something of high value that you want to protect and don't want to lose by dying, you know, if you die, you lose a lot of things. Then play in solo or play in private group until you get that, you offload that stuff. Like when I did my little loop around the galaxy in my Mandalay, 252,000 light years, I had a lot of cartographic data, which, I don't really care about the money for the cartographic data, but I do care about my name being on the discoveries. And I had a ton of exobiology data, which translates into money. But I don't really have to, you know, normally I don't have to worry about it because I operate off my carrier. And I turn in daily or whenever I want, I can turn in on my carrier. But you're damn right. When I came back from that trip, I was not in open when I approached civilization. You know, just on the chance, because I didn't want to lose that data. And I was watching a streamer last night who is a ganker on Twitch, and he was at the community goal where people had their big slow cargo ships and was steady popping them. You know, they were in open. He does that for content. So. Worst thing that could happen to me is if I get blown up, I'm not losing anything because materials aren't cargo, so all I gotta do is rebuy the ship, and I got plenty of money. So what are we gonna trade for this time? We have 100 grade 5 Imperial building. Let's see. Go to contacts, material trader. So we have to pick something. And I'm just trying to see what I'm low on that's actually used for engineering. things like electrochemical arrays, you can get them at like Dad's Hope and stuff. But this is so much easier just to go get 100 of these Imperial shieldings, and trade for what you want or need. Much faster, much easier. I wish the brain trees, I wish getting raw materials there was some way like this to do that, because while I do enjoy driving around my SRV shooting brain trees to get selenium and stuff, it does take some time. I don't know what proto-radiolic alloys are, but that's a grade 5, and I think you'd need them for something. I don't know what you need them for for engineering. So, what do we need? You never did material gathering for engineering? Well, I don't know how long it's been since you played or anything, but it's much better now. If you're using the high-grade emission technique to gather materials, the amount of material that you can gather in a high-grade emission has vastly been increased. It used to be a pain. You go there and get 4 or 5 things and go find another one and get 4 or 5 things. And you felt lucky to get those. And then now they've really buffed it up a lot so that you get a lot more. This menu that you see here is from when you dock at a station, you go under contacts, under material trader. All stations do not have material traders, so you have to find the station, and there are multiple types of material traders. There's data, raw materials, manufactured materials, guardian, a human tech broker, and they all have different things. This guy trades in manufactured things, which is in fact, I'll show you. Okay, the engineers are located in different systems, and you have to be here. You have to be invited to most of the engineers, and you get invited by doing certain things. They have different requirements. Like, say, one of the more common ones is Felicity Farseer here. She does frame shift drives. And you can see, okay, so you get access to her by getting an Explorer rank of Scout or higher, and then you provide 1 unit of meta alloys to her, and then you can use her. And each engineer has different things they do. Like, I just recently used this guy. You can see this is the level of access I have with him. Some of them, I've been around a long time, but like Harry Tan, I have grade 3 access. That means I've only modified things up to grade 3 using him or her. I don't know. But the more you do with an engineer, the higher access you get, if they have the ability to do so. And some of them I haven't even been invited to or don't have any access to because they're in Colonia and stuff. But that's how you do it. Now the good thing though is once you go to, say you want to engineer your frame shift drive, which is the interstellar engine that lets you jump between systems. Excuse me. Once you visit Felicity Farseer and you engineer an FSD, you can pin that blueprint so that you don't have to go back to her to do things like I want to increase my frame shift drive. I've only got it engineered so far up to level 3 because I ran out, or level 2 because I ran out of materials. You really can't see it now. If you look on the upper right there, to do this engineering, it cost me 1 of phosphorus, 1 of chemical processors, and 1 strange wake solutions. But I only have 1 of those, and it's going to take 4 or 5 of them to do it. You have to run it multiple times to engineer something. Usually on level 1, you just have to do it 1 time to actually complete that level. Level 2 may require 3 or so, and the higher you go, it may require... Here, usually it takes about 5 times for level 5. But you can see I don't even have... I'm hurting on data type mats. let's see, the engines. Engines are called thrusters. And you want to engineer those. Now, I have, I'll show you, I can do some of this here. You see how that circle went only a quarter of the way around? So it's going to take me 4 times to do it. So I'm using one of each of those components, materials that's required to complete this. And now my thrusters are up to grade 4. To do grade 5, I can probably complete this one too. It uses pharmaceutical isolators, which I can get here, get more of. However, that cadmium is a raw material, an element. Now, that's different. In cracked industrial firmware, again, that's typically a data type thing. I don't really have any need to engineer this ship to grade 5, but why not? Once, twice, 3 times the lady, 4, 5. Okay, this is all done. Now, you can also add what's called experimental effects to things, and those are really helpful. They're really good stuff. But you have to physically be at the engineer to add an experimental effect. You can't pin the blueprint doesn't contain that. Okay, where was I? So I just used a bunch of pharmaceutical isolators, so I'll get some more of those. Alright, select those now and say I want to get those, but I want to trade Imperial shielding. And for every 6 Imperial shields, I get 1 pharmaceutical isolator. So I'll just go ahead and run through all that. And you're more than welcome, though. Again, if you have any questions, if there's anything I can help you solve. If you haven't done any engineering at all, well, you're a bad person. You really need to do some engineering. Your ships, it doesn't take a lot of engineering to vastly improve your ship. And I need to go back and do this again. Not there. I mean, to increase your jump range and stuff, it doesn't take a lot to do. And you may be surprised, just by playing the game, you collect materials, especially things that involve some data stuff. You can get wake scans and things like that automatically just by being nearby when somebody jumps and stuff. But there's really no excuse. I mean, if you want improved performance from your ship, the only way to do it is, get as much engineering as you can. Let's do this. I'm just trying to get rid of these 4 things that so I can max out my load next time. Okay. Now I'm empty, so let's go get some more. But see how those pharmaceutical isolators were used in the process of engineering. And again, if you're playing in Oakland, certain engineers, especially on the weekends and stuff, or weekend nights, you may get ganked there, you may not. I mean, but certain gankers, that's on their patrol route to look for people in open, or engineers, because again, that's a place that has high traffic of people. I'm not trying to scare anybody about, getting killed by gankers. I'm just trying to keep it real, There we go. Right, let's chill with some music while we're traveling back to the system. But again, Silvestro, if you just have to get access to the engineer first, and that's pretty easy. It depends on the engineer, but you can again look in the codex and pull up, or the engineer off the right panel, and see what their requirements are to get access. Say, for example, you want your ship to go faster in normal space like I'm in right now. You want your boost speed to be better and stuff. Well, you can go to an engineer and you engineer your engine, which is the thrusters, to get better speed. Or you can engineer your shields to resist dying from attacks longer. You can engineer your hull reinforcements. Specifically on those type of things, you can engineer them to resist certain types of weapons, like whether the lasers or kinetic attacks. And they can really improve. Also in your weapons, you can engineer your weapons, and you can really improve the amount of damage your weapons do from the stock weapons. And you don't have to complete the engineering. I mean, every time you engineer something, even if you don't complete the grade, you still get some performance increase. So you just do what you can. And I'm sure this nav beacon is going to be on the other side of the star, so even before I look for it, I'm just going to swing around a little bit. Let's see where he's at. See how spicy we get cruising by the star here. Again, I'm only going to the nav beacon each and every time I enter the system where I'm trying to find high-grade emissions, because they are transient in nature. They don't last forever, and they just pop into existence. So, and the nav beacon keeps track of all that. So if you scan the nav beacon each time, and then you look at signal sources to find it. And that's true of pretty much anything. I mean, you should always scan the nav beacon if it's an unfamiliar system and you're trying to find things, especially if it's something you have to FSS for. Virtually everything shows up in the nav beacon. And I say virtually because sometimes notable stellar phenomena do not show up in the nav beacon. And I've seen actually one case in particular where I FSS scanned it with the scanner. I found a notable stellar, but it did not show up in the nav beacon. And I found another system which contained a very rare anomaly that it didn't show up under the FSS, but it showed up in the nav beacon. And I don't know if you do a lot of exploration, but most people don't check the nav beacon when you're going to map the system anyway. And the only reason I checked it is because the system I went to was to put eyes on that type anomaly. Personally, I did not discover it. I wasn't the first one to discover it. And they had a note in the post about it that it didn't show up in the FSS scanner, but it was in the nav panel only. And sure enough, that was the case. Okay, now that we're in Super Cruise, we can see what signal sources. And I know I'm repeating myself a lot, but I try to narrate what I'm doing. That's YouTube's fault, because I upload all my live Twitch streams to YouTube. And I'm in the habit of narrating a lot. See, we only have 8 minutes, so we need to beat feet here. I tend to narrate what I'm doing for the YouTube viewer, not the person that's watching the live stream, but the viewer of my video, so they have a clue what I'm doing, and maybe why. Let's see if we can gather these before the time runs out. I think a manual approach would have been faster. And also, if you're still there, Daddy Silvestro Engineers are also on the galaxy map. I'll show you. I can show that in a second once I drop out and get these limpets going. You can't land at an engineer unless you are invited and met their requirements to go there. And then after that, they show up on your planetary maps and stuff.
I'm listening.
Look at all the nice materials.
We should collect everything we can.
Deploy cargo scoop.
Complying.
Home through asteroid field spinning. I'll make this journey alone. You wonder if
I don't need all of these, but they'll be faster since I'm in a time crunch here a little bit. Now, as I promised, you go to your galaxy map. Where are they? I don't know where they are. I know they're here somewhere. I've seen them. There's a whole listing of them. Huh. That's an engineer, that's an engineer. That's an engineer, that's an engineer, that's an engineer, that's an engineer, that's an engineer. Now, these are all engineers. So they all show up there.
I've seen the rings of Saturn tear apart a dozen ships while cannons roar like thunder.
See how easy this is though? You just roll up, open your cargo scoop, launch a bunch of limpets and let them go about their business. Brainless activity. If you can remember to do the scoop, so. There are more materials here than I can gather, so I'm limited to only 100. And again, you get 3 for every one that's retrieved. You get a count of 3. And that's true of any type of material that you scoop up. I say material, not cargo, but material. Whether it's scooping up, raw materials, or this shooting brain trees, going to Dad's Hope and scooping up, electrochemical processors or heat vanes or whatever. Or Hot Jupiter. Hot Jupiter's fun if you've never been there for material gathering. Also, it's just a lawless anarchy type system. It's got a couple of stars close together, and tourists go there in belugas and orcas. You simply go there and destroy the tourist ships. They drop materials. You do what I'm doing right now. You scoop them up with limpets. You don't have to use limpets. It's just much faster. And since it's a lawless system, you don't get any bounties or anything. Seems cruel, but they aren't real people. They're NPC ships. So it's part of the game to just collect materials. That's what I was actually doing when somebody recommended this, and I was like, I did HGCs before, and it was slow, but it's definitely improved now. Retract cargo scoop.
Retracted.
Okay, now we go back to band, whatever it's called. Go to pole, whatever it is, station. Pulse, Pulse Shuck? I don't know how to say that. Don't really care. Doesn't matter. It's just a place. Those limpets will be destroyed that are left behind.
I feel the thrust against my spine.
I plan on streaming for about another 40 minutes. Might go longer, might not, but
Adjusting for jump.
try to do at least a couple of hours. Usually I do a minimum of a 3-hour stream, but it's Saturday night and I got dinner to make, so.
Plasma burns bright in the dark.
Acknowledged.
Every shot must hit its mark. You can't catch me flying free through the black between the worlds. You can't stop me, can't drop me. When the battle flag unfurls, I'm alive. I'm alive. Asteroid fields part like waves. For the bold, not for the slaves. Engines roar through empty space. Feel the wind upon my face. Though there's no wing down here, still I feel it crystal clear. You can't catch me flying free through the black between the worlds. Can't stop me, can't drop me. When the battle flag unfurls, I'm alive.
No worries. I used to run Ubuntu a lot. And Fedora, Red Hat, CentOS. I did a lot of Linux work in my my day job I used to have. I'm retired now, but I use Linux a whole lot. And a lot of systems over the years.
But I'm built to fly too fast. You can't catch me.
What? No boot drive.
Through the black.
You would expect me to use Linux? Well, I'm not running Linux on this. I actually bought this computer that I'm running right now to play Elite Dangerous. There's a story behind that. I used to run Linux all the time, but I had discovered Twitch years ago and was watching, different people and I stumbled across a guy playing this on a PS4, 5, or some PlayStation, I think. And it was the Horizons version of this game. This is back in 2020. And I was like, man, I like that game. And I watched him stream numerous times. I was like, I really like that game. Then it became available on Epic for free. So I went ahead and reserved a copy of it for free. And you can now play Elite on Linux without too much trouble. But it was a lot different years ago. It was much harder to, there was no Proton layer and stuff. There was just Wine, and to get things to work was a pain. So I broke down and bought this pseudo gaming computer, and been playing Elite ever since. I like it. I have numerous other games too, but I pretty much only stream Elite. I don't play other games much. Well, I'm kind of the opposite. I don't like changing. This game has no end. You're not forced down a specific path to end up like some games you are. It's completely open-ended. You're not forced, after a certain point, you're not forced to do mining, you're not forced to do combat, you're not forced to do anything. You can find an area, that's my dog over there shaking her head, but find an area, something you like to do, and do it. Well, you're not wrong, but you're not quite right. How would I say this? There is only a certain number types of plant life, and you do tend to stumble across the same types of things over and over again. But the planets are very similar. I'll give you that too. So I tell people, I could do mining or I could do exploration. At least in exploration, the view changes. So, and I enjoy going places that no one else has been, even if it is just in the game, because it's permanent. I mean, my name's recorded in the game. Some intrepid explorer is going to be 64,000 light years from Earth. Busily going through systems, discovering things. Then suddenly he's going to come across several that I've found. And that happens to me. I mean, you'll be out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, literally out in the deep, nothing. No one's ever been there, you think. And then all of a sudden you stumble across a system that somebody passed through, and their name's on the star or something. And you go, what are the odds? But 400 billion systems. I mean, realistically, you get away from where people hang out. What are the odds with so many stars and the density of the stars in certain areas of just randomly coming across where someone else has been? But it happens, and it happens, I won't say a lot, but it happens. Humans, to play this game, they get around. I think that's awesome. And now that they've opened up what's called colonization, I don't know if you know about that or if you've done any of that, where you can actually build things, build stations and stuff, and name them, and kind of develop the economy of a system. It's a lot of grind, though. A lot of material hauling. I have one system so far colonized. And to colonize a system, it has to be 15 light years or less from someplace else that's already been colonized. So you can't just jump out real far and say, I claim this system. You have to kind of walk on the shoulders of other people. I only have one system that I've colonized. I've got to do some more work there because I need more credits, these construction points to build. I want to build a big station. These are all little stations. We've got an asteroid station here, another asteroid station there. Oh no, there. It's actually in the ring. And a couple of other outposts and some planetary stuff. My goal with colonizing a system is I wanted two things. I wanted tritium, and there's tritium hotspots in these rings, so I can mine tritium if I want. And there's Hazreses where I can kill pirates. You can do that. I've helped lots of people, because some of these, I have a fleet carrier, and some of the the biggest thing, a tier 3 or something, takes about 247,000 tons of cargo. And my fleet carrier will carry approximately 20,000. So that's a few fleet carrier full. And then you've got to load up the carrier. You don't have to use a carrier, but I load up the carrier. I park the carrier near the source of some materials, load those materials onto the carrier, and depending on how big your ship is, there can be numerous trips between this, where you're getting the materials and your carrier to load it up. And then you move the carrier to the colonized system, and then you have to move the materials from the carrier to the colonization port or vessel. So there's a lot of trips there. Now, since they just came out with that new Panther Clipper, which is about 1.5 times the cargo capacity of the other big ships, that will cut down on the number of little small trips between the carrier and the source or the destination of the materials, unloading and offloading of the carrier. And that will cut it down significantly. But I've helped lots of people do stuff. Okay, let's go waste some more materials here. I did buy a Panther Clipper, though. That's the wrong thing. I want contacts. I do have 100 Imperial shielding to trade. Well, how long have you played the game? I mean, how many hours do you have in the game, really, realistically?
Static sweet. Scan the horizon. Old fears retreat. Jagged plains. Alien breeze.
Feel free to send me a in-game friend request. My commander name is the same as my my YouTube name. 236 hours? That's... You're new.
Just moving
Let me see how many hours I have.
pulse in my palm, strong and raw. Metal and spirit fused tight.
Where's that at? I know it's here somewhere.
Right now,
Oh, where's it at?
lines unknown turns. Something pushes
Oh, Codex.
hard, moves ahead.
It's me.
I won't forget. Pages
Okay, hello.
turning.
I've been playing... I don't want the session. Damn, what the hell? Usually it's just right there. What am I doing wrong? Oh, there it is.
Empty sea, deep
Time played 43 weeks, 2 days. And you say you already sent me an in-game request?
past map lines unknown.
I don't see that.
Pushes hard, moves ahead.
236 hours in Steam, yeah. What's your commander name? No, I don't have... Well, what's your commander name if you're in my group? Who are you?
Just for a second, I belong.
Let's see, you sure you haven't got me confused with somebody else? Okay.
Day 47 in the black. Commander's log entry, stars calling, stars.
Oh, that's not you.
On the rim tonight. Charts spread across my cabin floor. Unmarked.
Oh, it's not Sylvester. Is it Silver?
To push further out. She flies alone out there.
I don't think that's you.
Stars calling, her name across the void. Watch her go into the endless dark. Stars calling, stars calling, stars calling, stars calling. Commander of the void, breaking through the fear. Stars calling, stars calling, stars calling, stars calling.
Well, you might have. What? But I'm. Did you manage to log in? I mean, is that your name, Silvestro?
Landing gear hits alien ground. First human steps here. Stars
Or is it did you add something to it?
secrets will we find? She flies alone out there through dangers yet unseen. Stars calling, her courage burning bright.
Uncle. Okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah, we're friends, and you were in the group. All right. Yeah, I found you now. There you are. Okay. Well, that's good. I'm sorry if I didn't remember you.
Months pass by.
I claim being old, ignorance. So I apologize. You like to kill pirates? I do. All right. What was I going to? Let me finish this. You're not a peasant, and I'm certainly not a king. Certainly not a king, my friend. So you did passenger runs or something? You know, you haven't. And there are lots of other things to do. I mean, you should like go. Have you been to Sagittarius A at the center of the galaxy? If not, you need to get a ship, engineer it so you have good jump range, and say, I'm going to go there and do it, just to do it. And scan a bunch of stuff on the way. And come back much richer. The Sagittarius A does have a black hole there, and not far from there's a whole cluster of black holes. Have you seen the lightning in space? The notable stellar phenomena, Lagrange clouds with lightning. Those are cool. I've never seen those before, and some guy in chat gave me a location. I have a video about it, a YouTube short even, that will show you what some of them look like. But if you're curious, not far, when I say not far, I mean in exploration terms, not far from the bubble is this system right here. That system right there. That's not far. That's not far at all. What do you mean? That's a day trip, man. But I was gonna. It has, I think, a planetary nebula around, a neutron star. You see how that little fuzzy area there is? It's got a really cool nebula, and there's some notable stellar phenomena there, and you go to the notable stellar phenomena, and there be lightning clouds. If you haven't seen it, I do have a YouTube short. Let me find it real quick. You don't have to watch the whole thing. You can just watch the short and get a glimmer on lightning in space. It's right here. It's a real short YouTube short, and it will show you what they look like. At least those particular ones. They come in different colors and stuff. And there, we're going to get this done. Okay, let's find something and empty or trade stuff. I can't remember a time where I used tempered alloys. They got to be used for something though. But it's a grade 1 type thing, so. Plenty of those. That should be sufficient. That should be. I'm trying to remember what I ran low of on anything. I think I'm good now though. This is always good to have. Compact composites, there was something I ran, core dynamics, I ran low on. I'll go ahead and get some of those. Okay. Let's do one last run, or I call it a day. I'll call it a stream. I'll keep playing, just not here. We'll find us a nav beacon. I tell you what, Silvestro, if you want to go see the lightning clouds, I will take you in my carrier there. Well, I would ask yourself, why is the Ubuntu installation not working? And that's a pretty well-known distribution. It should be fairly straightforward. Well, the cool thing is I don't have to be on. You know, what happens is you get on my carrier, you tell me you're on the carrier, and I will travel the carrier there, and it takes a while for the carrier to go anywhere. And when the carrier gets there, you go have fun, do what you want to do, exploring and stuff, and you know, then when you're done and I'm done, we'll head back. But I don't have to be online or anything. You can but you can be in solo or in a private group or in open, you know, and ride the carrier. There's nothing to do with me. It's a matter of you being on the carrier when I'm traveling. I don't know what are you planning on doing? Are you trying to make a new desktop type thing? Or are you trying to play games or something on Linux? What's your goal there? But I would ask yourself why. Have you gone into your BIOS and made sure your BIOS is selecting that you've got the hard drive selected for a boot device? Or is it the installation failing and not just when it's done it tries to boot and it can't? Okay, well, you seem to know what you're doing then. I can't say. If I was going to play games on a system though, I think I would try one of the newer Steam OS variations like Bayside or something. I liked Ubuntu. It was easy to upgrade things, and it worked out of the box pretty much for me. Found all the hardware and had drivers for pretty much everything. Which on older Linux distributions, that was a pain sometimes. Well, I only run AMD. Sorry. I actually wasn't aware that was only for AMD. Is that accurate? I'm not talking about SteamOS. I'm talking about derivatives.
Vectors. Marvelous.
It says x86-64. Doesn't say anything about AMD only. Yeah, but you don't want to use Steam OS. You want to use one of the things that are kind of based on it. There's one called Bazzite, Bazzite, that I've heard good things about. I'm looking at the hardware requirements now. I don't see 2 gigahertz quad core processor or better. It doesn't say anything about it having to be an AMD system. Okay, all right. No, you're right. That's the operating system with it, but now it says Steam gaming mode. And it does support other stuff, but AMD has supported Intel Arc G. Oh, that's the GPUs. These are GPUs. So it looks like NVIDIA is in beta. I'd give it a try anyway. Something like that.
Each unknown horizon, moving rivers of the wise. Starlit veins unravel constellations in your sight.
I don't know. Good luck. I don't know. I would really try to solve why the Ubuntu is failing though. Well, that may be true that it works well only on AMD. That may be indeed true. I am not an expert on it. I'm just going by watching YouTube videos and reading the hardware requirements. It does seem to be optimized for AMD GPUs and stuff. However, again, I would wonder why when you say the installation isn't working, did the installation successfully complete with no real error messages that you saw?
Friend ascend. I call to you across the filament of fate. Thrusters blazing courage, you refuse to hesitate. Meteoric melody.
Okay. So you didn't really install it. You're doing the live version, is what they call them. Huh. Well, if it's blown away your partition on your hard drive and stuff anyway, you might as well try to do a full install or something. Huh. I don't know what to tell you. I really don't. If the live version itself doesn't even run. Well, you said you're in the live version. If you're in the live version and on the menus and stuff and it giving you the option to install, that's interesting.
Beyond the silver nebulae, a legacy refines, beacons burning, yearning, casting trails in crooked lines.
Well, I think we can agree that it's not working for you. Can't help you. Because Ubuntu would be my go-to choice of trying. If I was going to try a distro, that would be one of the ones that I mean, for generic, general purpose stuff, that would be one of my go-tos. Would be Ubuntu. Never had an installation fail like that before. Without giving some type of error message during the install, at least. Let me say it that way. Where am I going? I don't want the damn nav beacon. Why? And I can't multitask. Already scanned the nav beacon. Now I'm looking for high-grade emissions.
Empty radar, empty screen.
Okay. That's not gonna work. Can't see crap. Get the sun out of the way.
Far and wide, but no one's there to hear my side. Another system, another day alone. Mapping constellations, no one else.
Hi. There's one. How much time we got left on it? Oh, plenty time.
Coffee cold in 0G. Flight controls on autopilot 3.
I guess though you can try. I used to use Red Hat and Fedora and all those, but I really don't those are, I mean, they were very generally good, but they weren't as up to date as Ubuntu. Ubuntu, you know, like new drivers and things and stuff would come out. Ubuntu was on it faster.
Making shots of places I can't call home. Got a message from command.
And I used an NVIDIA card with Ubuntu, and that was painless. I mean, there were Linux drivers from NVIDIA at the time. I don't know about their Linux support anymore, but at the time it was pretty current. Not that I was playing any games, because I didn't play games on my computers on Linux, because they were work machines for me. That's one of the main reasons my main system at home was a Linux box, because I worked on Linux things and did programming and a bunch of other stuff on Linux boxes there, and I could remote into them, especially during the COVID business when you're working from home. A lot easier to do work remotely, as opposed to using like something like PuTTY or something in an X window emulator, or you know, server and stuff running on Windows, and it's just built into Linux, you know.
When you discover something new to say, something new to
Didn't even really need it. We had a VPN, but didn't even really need a VPN because I could run SSH tunnels. And it's all good. Good stuff. I even went to a Red Hat conference in New Orleans once, years and years ago.
numbers and charts day after day.
It was actually a waste of time, but it was a good status thing to launch around work.
Me and the stars mapping away.
A waste of time, I mean, yeah, it's pretty much a waste of time. Most of the presentations didn't have anything to do with what I did.
We should collect everything we can.
Void between
Deploy cargo scoop.
Opening hatch.
finding my place among Mars. Making my mark in the dark.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not going to be able to help you there. I really have no idea what's causing your issue. You disable secure boot. You've got UEFI. You could try turning off. I guess you could try, using some legacy type boot stuff and see.
My mission goes on, Earth's memory gone, but somehow I feel
And keep at it. You'll figure it out. That's the right attitude. But I would try to figure it out in case that way, if you try to install something else, and you have problems with something else, maybe there'll be some common denominator there. Or you might try some other distribution of something just to see if it works, even if you didn't want to keep it, but just to see if it works for you, and that you don't have some type of media or BIOS setting or something that's hosing you up.
Sometimes I wonder what they'd say. Back home looking up my way. But every new sun that I see reminds me this is where I should be. Charting a void between stars. Finding my place among Mars.
Okay, we're full. Retract cargo scoop.
Retracting cargo scoop.
Go back and this will be the last run I'm doing of for materials. Quit. What the hell? I didn't want to do that. I want to do this. Once I do this, though, I'll go back to the carrier, see my carrier if you haven't already. I have a bunch of old computers. Where I used to work, they would refresh the PCs, and the IT people who ran the PCs and Windows systems would distribute new PCs every few years, and they would auction off. They would auction off computers and laptops and stuff, so you could bid on them and you pick them up. Well, auction is the wrong word. They would have a lottery. Sometimes some things were free, but you had to win the lottery for it. Other times they would have a minimum reserve, kind of like you say, you can win this in a lottery, but you have to pay $50, and they were all worth it. They had laptops, PCs with, 32 gig of RAM and stuff, and they were business type desktops, so they weren't gaming machines, but they were good solid machines. And we had legal copies of Windows on them.
Compiling data for photography.
And my friend, hang around about 5 minutes and you'll see a carrier. And I say 5 minutes generously because me talking will slow me down. I'm just going to do a loop of shame there. Turn it into a steam machine with a giant TV. That'd be awesome. I lost the solid state drive in this computer, and while I was waiting for the replacement to come in and get everything reinstalled, I had installed Elite on a smaller computer, in fact one of those computers from my work, and hooked it to the TV, my big TV, and it's only like 50 some odd inches. But I would sit there about 3 feet in front of that thing playing Elite on that other computer with my joystick, and that was cool. But I play with 3 monitors. I mean, when I'm went for streaming, I've got a game monitor, and I have other monitors off to the side for, OBS, the software, streaming software, and chat and things. So I need another monitor, actually. And I can support another monitor. My video card will support 4. I only have an old RX 580, but it does well enough for me because I play Elite. If I played some other games and tried to stream, I might have some issues. I was thinking of using one of my other computers, excuse me, to do the actual streaming. And I've got an HDMI video capture dongle and stuff. I could play the game on one computer and do all the streaming business off another computer. Take a little bit of the load off and stuff. Oh, that'd be nice. If I hadn't retired, and I have a much smaller monthly income now because I retired. But I before I retired, I shoulda, woulda, coulda got a better system. But I have no complaints about the system I have. I mean, it's for what it costs and stuff, and it was a pre-built thing from Best Buy. I really have very few complaints about it, other than that SDD failing, but it went over 2 years before it failed. So, and it gave me the opportunity to replace it with a much larger SDD, so. You can save. I'm just going to grab some other material here. I don't know what it is. It won't really matter. And then I'll back over to the carrier. Won't take no time at all. At any rate, I was very serious. If you want to go see the lightning clouds, let me know when you want to do it, and I'll just assume that it'll take, well, let's see, it's probably 21 or so carrier jumps. It'll take numerous hours to get there in the carrier, so don't expect to hop on the carrier and just be there. You basically say, okay, I'm on your carrier, and I'll say, okay, by tomorrow at this time we'll be there. You know, and expect to depart, you know, like a day later or something, or, you know, unless you're ready to go after. It doesn't take that long to get your fill of looking at the notable stellar stuff, but it's well worth seeing. At least once to see some stuff like that. I often go to things that people have already discovered simply because I want to see it for myself. Like a green gas giant. That's on my bucket list. I really, 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 really want to stumble across a green gas giant to discover for myself, my name on it. I've been to several of them, but other people I've discovered, but they're fairly rare, and I'd like to come across one someday, and I will someday, because as much as I'm traveling around the galaxy as I do, I will sooner or later discover, you know, one. I have no military supercapacitors, but I don't have any need for those. I mean, so far I've never seen a need for them, but I know where to get them if I need to. I'm just trying to make sure I've got the usual materials needed to do generic engineering. Looks like I'm okay on... I don't have many of these. I'll go ahead and get these. And high density components, that might be something also. Let me get a few of each. Okay. Yeah, we'll go for some high density components, get some of those. Alright, we're done. Now we'll head to the carrier. Easy to spot because it's highlighted on the list. Sometimes it's much more difficult to see it on that list because of so many things, but it's not that far away, so it showed up early. Trying it one more time. Good luck. I pick it. I pick what? Oh, another distro? No, don't ask me to pick it. But I would try to pick a modern version of a distro. I'm old school. You know, Debian, Ubuntu, Fedora, Red Hat. You know, there are way more distros now, especially if you're trying to get something that emulates more Windows stuff. I'm surprised you're having trouble installing Ubuntu. I mean, or getting it to run, because it's pretty stable and well known. At least you could try a different version of it, but
past every boundary they made. When they said stop.
And if you go to my carrier, you can actually disembark from your ship and walk around, assuming you have Odyssey. I mean, but yeah, I mean, I really had very few problems installing, especially anything that had a live version. I mean, I really had no problems installing it. Yeah, when I was 16, there was it was not happening. I don't think my Apple II would run a Linux. I think I used to run later. I ran OS2 Warp, which was kind of similar to Unix or Linux. Yes, that's the thing that everybody... There's actually a petition now with a huge number of signatures already. You get them to take that back because I guess everybody doesn't want all the age verification crap on not just porn sites, but, you know, I guess maybe some Discord or Reddit stuff, and I don't know, maybe even Wikipedia, somebody said. I don't know, that is crazy. Well, don't say you're going to use a VPN in a public forum, Commander. That may be against the act. There was some discussion about that I saw on a Legalese YouTube video, and somebody was, you know, had posted somewhere that to use a VPN to get around it, but if you read the actual article, or read the actual law or something, it has something about that. I would say about a public forum, but you must live in the UK or something, you know? That's just fucking crazy. I'm sorry. The crap you guys put up with, or they think is acceptable. I'll never be invited to the UK, I guess, because that micromanagement and hurt feelings and woke crap and stuff. You say something that somebody gets offended by and it's against the law because it's of a subjective feeling someone might have. I just don't get it, you know. I mean, it's different of making a threat against somebody, but just to say some general comment that somebody doesn't agree with and they get offended by it, you know, that's... And you go to jail or something, or at least get talked to by the cops about it, you know, that's stupid. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I, on the other hand, won't get arrested for saying something like that. I may get put on some list saying I can't come to the UK, but boo-hoo.
But they've never felt the calling, never chased a distant star.
And that's funny. Yeah. What's really cool is right after I said all that stuff, I was getting messages about YouTube and I was disconnected and things, but I guess I really wasn't. I was still streaming, but it was like going... The manager wasn't saying that, but the third-party tool I was saying said I was disconnected, didn't have a live stream. That's funny. I'm like thinking, yeah, that'd be about right. Here I am bad-mouthing the UK and blah, blah, this, and all of a sudden my YouTube stream gets cut. I don't know, but I see people's Twitter posts or X posts and stuff, and I'm like, how did you let it get that bad? I mean, I guess, I don't take this the wrong way, but y'all need somebody with like Donald Trump-ish and you know, that pendulum swung far enough one way, now it's swinging the other way, and trying to correct some of this crap. You know, well, you're not wrong. I mean, it's just, you know, when people get in your face and say, you're going to do this, you're going to believe this, you know, especially when they're protecting 0.15% of the population's feelings or something, but you've got to change your pronouns, all this and everything else because of something that's wrong. That is simply wrong, you know. Younger people need to realize a feeling is a feeling. It's not a fact. And your feelings are not protected. You know, you just need to get thicker skin and go back to sticks and stones will break your bones, but words will never hurt you type thing or something, you know? At any rate, enough of my high horse. Here's my carrier. I'm not wise. There are a lot of people who are wiser than me, but a lot of people are fed up. I'm going to do a loop around my own dang carrier here. Maybe not? I got it. Okay. I'll go around to the side that's lit up and you can see my carrier. There's the RV Cat's Purr, the research vessel Cat's Purr.
Just need to know what's waiting beyond the stars we name.
Take you on a quick tour once we get down on Disembark.
I'll be the first to touch down. I'll be the first.
You can see other ships landing on those are all NPCs. But there she is. A couple of different styles of carriers when you get a carrier you can get. This is Nautilus, I think. I don't know. That's it. They're big.
Your docking request has been accepted. Sit back and enjoy the ride.
Landing gear deployed.
You know, my carrier, you can actually turn in, when you do exploration, you can turn in your exploration data and your
Good.
exobiology data. So, if I park my carrier somewhere and I'm working things every day, when I'm done, I come back to the carrier and I turn in. Then if I die inadvertently while I'm doing stuff, I've only lost, you know, that one day's work or something, or depending on how much I've done before I die, you know. I don't have to worry too much. But on my carrier, I have Universal Cartographics, a shipyard. You can buy and sell commodities, and you control the market, what you sell and what you buy and what prices. You can turn in bounties here and codex entries. Now the carrier does take a cut of exploration data, but it doesn't take a cut of the exobiology data, which is where all the money's at anyway. I have a killer lounge with the bartender and stuff, but you can't get a drink. That's not a limitation on my part, that's a limitation of the game. And it's so dark in here. Ever since the last update came out with the Panther Clipper, the hangars are just all dark. They didn't always used to be like that. And you may not realize it, but your ships are big. Even the small ships. This is a Python. Wait till you see a big ship. You play this game in VR, and these ships are huge. Or much larger than you think. They're huge. Almost done, dog. Dog's going, I think you might want to take me outside soon. And for some reason, I have a guard placed at my hangar doors. I don't know why. Not all hangars have that. I don't know why mine does. I didn't order them. Here's the lounge or the bar. All these slackers who should be working.
But every new discovery makes this path my own.
What was that? Are you listening to something?
Yes, they'll remember my name.
So all these people just sitting around. There's a bartender who will not serve you a drink, but he'll sell you. You can buy certain questionable items from him or and stuff. But,
Time and space, remember my name.
I don't have any of this stuff, but they do.
Legacy.
And there's a good view out the window sometimes. Sometimes not. And if you need stuff for your suit and everything or on foot stuff, Pioneer Supplies will hook you up. I don't normally need this stuff, but I didn't want an empty place on my concourse. Yeah. So I bought the service just to have something inside this door, because if you don't, then you just have this piece of metal that's pulled down and closed. And for the owner of a fleet carrier, you don't need a shipyard. But if you have friends that want to bring their ships and store them on your carrier, say for example, you decide you want to hang out with me, you have the ability to park more than one ship on the carrier. Like you can transfer another ship over and stuff. And I can actually buy ships to sell on the shipyard. You can buy packages, you know, but I don't see the need for that. And here's the big money maker right here. It's Vista Genomics. When you sample something on a planet, you sample the simplest bacteria. That's 1 million credits. Most common plant thing or whatever bio in the universe is bacteria. That's 1 million credits. There are different types that are even more, but it's 1 million credits. If it's undiscovered, meaning when I say undiscovered, I mean no one has turned in a sample of that bacteria from that planet, then you get a 5 times multiplier. And that holds true with any type of biology, not just you could get something like Stratum Tectonica, which is 19 point something million credits base value. And with that multiplier, that's 95 million credits for just one bio. Well, you got to get 3 samples of it, but one bio. This is the passenger seating area for the command deck. If you're a passenger on the carrier, it will force you to, and you're not in your ship, when the ship jumps, it will force you to be in one of these ships. It will move you to one of these seats here. And if you're part of the winged up with the commander, or the owner of the fleet carrier, then you have access to the command deck itself. It's kind of cool to have several visitors, you know, and you can walk around and see each other. Here is the command chair where you set, the captain sets. And you can control the carrier and stuff from that panel there, along with many others. And I don't know if you've ever seen a carrier jump, but it's pretty cool. The first time. I would say you could watch me jump the carrier back to my system. In fact, let me go ahead and schedule that anyway. But I probably won't be streaming that long, because there'll be a 15-minute wait before the carrier jumps. So I'll be ending my stream before then. Star Trek. And sometimes this panel won't work. Okay, we got it though. And to control the carrier, there's many options that you can do. You can control your budget. Like I can transfer money from my personal pocket, my wallet, if you will, to the carrier and vice versa. You control what you buy and sell. Say, for example, you need money, and I say, I can give you 1 billion credits. What I would do then is I would, like, say, tritium. I'd sell you some tritium. I'd say, bring a cargo ship with, some cargo space, like 50 or 100 tons or, whatever. And I'd sell you tritium for, the cheapest that you can sell it for. Then I'd turn around and buy it back from you at huge markup. And you, get rich real fast that way. And this is how you jump the carrier. The first thing to look at is what your tritium reserve is. And you see, I'm about half a tank of gas, if you want to call it that. I can store up about 20,000 tons of tritium on the carrier, but that's not in the gas tank. That's in storage. To actually fuel the carrier, you've got to have fuel in what's called the tritium depot. And there's only one way to get gas in the tritium depot. You have to transfer it from a ship, not the carrier. So if I'm on a long trip and the carrier needs fuel, I use one of my cargo ships, like a Type 9 or now the Panther Clipper, transfer that fuel from storage on the carrier into my cargo space of my ship, and then you go to the main screen and select the tritium depot, and I donate that tritium to put it in a gas tank. And that's silly, why can't I do that remotely? Why can't I say transfer this to the tritium depot or something, That forces you to actually go to the carrier. Now, anyone can donate or put gas in the gas tank, but someone physically has to be there to do it. But not everybody can transfer it out of storage. And now you can, say, for example, my carrier needed gas, and I was on the other side of the galaxy. I could have a friend go. I could have a friend and say, "Go to my carrier. I will set up a sell order and sell you tritium, and then you put gas in my gas tank for me." I could do that. But somebody has to physically go there and do it. And if my carrier is way out in the black with no one around and I'm off doing stuff, I have to actually return to the carrier to put gas in it so it can keep moving. So what I typically do when I'm traveling is I will plot a course for the carrier. Like the carrier will jump between one point and another, and I will take a ship and go to that destination and scan the star systems in between there, so I have something to do, so I'm not just sitting on the ship and waiting, especially if I'm streaming. No one wants to sit there for 15 minutes while your carrier counts down the jump. So I'll just be doing some exobiology or exploration on the way in between the carrier jump points. Put the carrier right here, close to my Hazres, so I can do some pirate hunting or something if I want to. And it'll jump in 15 minutes. But I won't be on here. My stream will be over by then. I'm going to wrap it up. But it's you just learn it. It's nothing special. I mean, you do a few things a few times, you get used to doing it. EVE Online, I have not. The only other space game I have is Star Citizen, and I've played it about 20 minutes. I really haven't given it a chance. A friend gave me the game and a starter pack in Star Citizen, and I really just installed it to make sure my computer could handle running it okay, and it doesn't seem to have any trouble doing that. I guess I can just park my ass right here for the, I don't need to be back at my ship to do anything. Star Citizen will never come out of alpha. I don't know. I don't know. But at any rate, I am going to end. If do you know how to send a message in game, or do you? If you use Discord, are you in my Discord? Because I'm serious. If you want to go to the lightning thing, I will come to close to you, and and you can hop on the carrier, and then you can go to bed or whatever else, and I'll jump the carrier that way. Oh, I see you there. I gave you a voice chat role in case, I don't know if you're the talkative type person, but that way you can, if I'm ever when I'm in voice, you're more than welcome to hop in and say hi and stuff. What I was going to say is message me on Discord, or, as like my ship's parked here, I'll bring the carrier over there, and then wait until I hear from you and you say you're aboard, and unless we're both on at the same time, then you can tell me when you're aboard, and I'll say, okay, we'll be jumping in 15. That would be 20 jumps or whatever, and it'll take X amount of time, and depending on the time of day, it may all get done at one day as we travel, or it may take 2 days. I gotta sleep too myself. But I'd be more than pleased to give you a ride out there. You can. Do you have a? I don't think you'll need it, but you might want to get a ship sometime if you don't have it on your ship. Make sure you have a detailed surface scanner. You won't need that to see the lightning clouds, but if you want to do any type of exobiology type stuff or anything. Nearby neighborhood, star systems or something while we're parked there, I can show you. I can show you how to do it. It's not hard, really. Exobiology is easy. You enter a system, you honk the system, and assuming you look at the system map and go, oh, no one's been here. Then you FSS the system, and if you find a planet that looks interesting that you need to map, or if there's life on it or biological signals, travel there, you surface map it with the detailed surface scanner, find out where the biology's at, and you go down and find it. You shouldn't have to install anything except a detailed surface scanner. All the other scanners are built in. Assuming you have the planetary, I'm sure you have it. Every ship has the planetary approach thing.
Looking back at where we started, never thought I'd go this far. Breaking free from what they told me, something calls from distant stars. Just to free from what they told me.
Let me try something. I don't know if it'll work since I'm sitting down here. System map. System map. I guess it doesn't like it. Let's see if I can figure out how to do this. Okay. Don't know how to do all this stuff when I'm on foot. How is it called? Do you need it? Oh, the SRV. In general, I would say yes. Need is a... I hardly ever use an SRV. Most people that do exploration or exobiology will land near the first sample, get in their SRV, and drive around looking for the other samples. I typically, because things are easier to spot from the air, will land, get my I would go sample it, go back in the air, find another one and land, because you have to go a minimum distance between the samples for it to count. And but there are some things that you need an SRV for. Sometimes you just can't land near. You may find it, but you can't land anywhere near it to walk over to it. Or it would take all day, and it's easier to just land somewhere and take the SRV. What can you find? Okay, there's bacteria, different types of bacteria. Some of it pays 8 million per bacteria. Some pay 1 million. There's fungoidia, different types of fungoidia. Fonticula, another real common thing is fonticula. Different types of that. Things that glow in the dark, like electricaea. Things that have transparent skins with something inside them called recepta. Plants that look kind of like palm trees, tubus. There's cactoidea. There's osseous. I don't know. There's about 20 different things, and they pay different types of individual things can pay different amounts too, depending on how rare they are and stuff. So there is a variety of things to find. Some are easy to find, some are not. Well, there are Thargoids. That's aliens, and they are still out there, especially if you go near the Pleiades and stuff. There are still active Thargoids, And you might stumble across a guardian site. I never stumbled across a guardian site organically, meaning I never discovered one. I've been to guardian sites, of course, for engineering purposes, but you get materials for engineering. I'm sitting here talking to you like the camera is on. I'm looking at the camera using my hands and stuff. I'm sitting here just talking away, moving my hands around, describing things, and the camera wasn't on. Sorry. Hi, dog. I know I'm going to end. The dog is just looking at me like, I really want to go outside. You need to go outside? Huh? Okay. At any rate, I am going to end here. But message me. Well, we can talk on Discord, and we can work out when you want to go for a ride. We'll go look at the lightning. Not a big deal. If you personally don't want to make the trip, there is an alternative to that. Is I make the trip and you telepresence in on the ship and you can see what I see, but it's not the same thing. You want to get credit for going, and you want to scan the planets and things, even though they're already discovered. You want to check them out anyway. And I don't know, you know how to use the system map, right? Like none of these planets here are landable. But they all have atmospheres. But the key thing is while you're exploring, if it's already mapped, you go to the system map and it shows planetary bodies. You can click on them, and over here there'll be a thing that says planetary information. You click that, and if there's life on that planet, it'll be down here under the features. It'll say how many biological signals they are. So instead of you having the FSS, just because it's discovered doesn't mean you still can't get money. You can still go down and resample any genetic stuff that has done it. Assume that this planet has life and it's landable. Two things. First, you click on it. There is no first footfall. Because it's not landable. But if it was landable, if there's no first footfall, you go, wow, okay. No one's landed on it before. Then you click down here and you go, oh, there's biology. Biology with no footfall means discovery bonus if you sample it. Discovery bonus is not the same as the first footfall, though it is possible someone can land on the planet, walk around, but it completely ignored the plant life without sampling anything. I'm just saying that if there is no first footfall, then you know inside that you're going to get the discovery bonus for whatever you sampled there. At any rate, I am going to say goodnight to everybody, and I can figure out how to get out of this. Okay. Only 4 minutes from the jump. But say goodnight to everybody, and thanks for coming in and hanging out and chatting with me. And But get with me on Discord when you are ready, and just all you got to do is say, "Hey man, I can go." I mean, when you have a few days, say 3 days in game that you're available, and we can basically travel one day. You know, you get on the carrier, we travel for a day. You explore something for one day, and we'll depart the next day and head back to the bubble. All you gotta do is tell me where your ship is, and I'll try to get as close to you with the carrier as I can. You jump over and get on board, and then we will head out. Easy. Just let me know. I'm quite serious about it. Anybody else that wants to ride out and look at the lightning clouds, you know, we can make it happen. So y'all have a good night, and see y'all next time. I just wanted to say, if you managed to make it through the video this far, if you're on YouTube, please like and subscribe. It will really help my channel out. Have a great day, and thanks for watching.
Searching the stars for a world like home. After explorer drifting through the dark we roam. Scanners up, signals strong. Every system's a map, every scan's a song. From the edge of the void to the planets untold. Hunting for life in the cosmic cold. Alien signals beneath the sky. Exobiology waiting, no limits to fly. From the edge of the void to the planets untold. Hunting for life in the cosmic cold. Alien signals beneath the sky. Exobiology waiting, no limits to fly. Earth-like worlds untouched and wild. Pirates out there with fury piled. Between the peace and danger's call. Bacardi stands strong, never will fall. Bacardi's on the hunt, stars in his sights. Exploring the unknown through endless nights. From Earth-like dreams to the pirate's fire. With the Corvette blazing, his enemies retire. Trekking life forms, chasing down the fight. In the depths of space, he's the guiding light. Hit the ground, scanners ping alive. Biological wonders in the deep survive. Through the nebula's reach, to the stars untamed. Every new discovery adds to the game. But there's danger out there in the pirate zone. Federal Corvettes, engines moan. Locked in tight, no mercy given. When pirates attack, it's survival driven. Between the stars and battles fought, he never loses the mission he's got. Life in the black, born for the quest. Bacardi pushes on, never needs rest. Bacardi's on the hunt, stars in his sights. Exploring the unknown through endless nights. From Earth-like dreams to the pirate's fire. With the Corvette blazing, his enemies retire. Trekking life forms, chasing down the fight. In the depths of space, he's the guiding light. From the blackest void to the brightest star, Bacardi's traveled the galaxy near and far. No pirate too strong, no world too small. Commander Bacardi answers the call. Exploring the mysteries, fighting the foe. In the galaxy's depths, it's where he'll go. Bacardi's on the hunt, stars in his sights. Exploring the unknown through endless nights. From Earth-like dreams to the pirate's fire. With the Corvette blazing, his enemies retire. Trekking life forms, chasing down the fight. In the depths of space, he's the guiding light. From the blackest void to the brightest star, Bacardi's traveled the galaxy near and far. No pirate too strong, no world too small.